back on the Speaker Show. I'm your host, your girl, Niniola Fatai. Wow, 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 everyone. I am so excited. I am so happy to be here again this beautiful evening with each and every one of you. How you guys doing? Oh my goodness. Today has been quite a long day. But I am excited, despite everything, I'm still here with you guys. All right. So, like you guys know, like Fridays are always the day that I'm excited. I just can't wait to be with you and then to share the things that I have that I feel that these are very important. And these are things that, they can help you to become a better person, in either professionally or like personally, all those things are things that will help you. But first of all, before we get into what we have to talk about tonight, let me introduce myself to some of you who that don't know me yet. All right, so my name is Niniola Fatai. I am the host of the Speaker Show. So now, welcome on the Speaker Show. The Speaker Show, it's a place of inspiration where minds are being liberated through reasoning. It's a platform where, people come in with different stories, and the major focus is for people's story to be able to help you to do better, that you can be inspired through someone else's story on the show. So now I'm excited to tell you this. Please, guys. Do share the video. Share the video. This evening is going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. It's going to be amazing. There's a lot that you're going to take home this evening. But most importantly, I want you to share this video with someone. I want you to, either even with the people that you don't like, just share with them, because you never know. You can be a blessing in their life. You don't know who is going through one thing or the other. So please, do share the video, and they can always come back and watch the video afterwards. So in case they're not able to be here or to join us tonight, they can always come back later on. All right, so let's get into what we want to talk about tonight. Effective communication. About a week ago, we talked about the importance of leadership. And I feel personally that, wherever you're going, it might not even where you're heading in life, but just generally, wherever you are, it might be your colleagues at work, it might be a client, like it might be friends, it might be family, it is important for us to exercise that leadership. I'm just giving you a recap, to exercise leadership, and then leadership start from us individually, because when you begin to take responsibility, when you begin to become accountability for your own actions, you are accountable for the things that you do. And then, the blame is not being put on others, or you're not leaving the work for others to get done. You focus on the things that they're very, very important, and that's why, I feel that, with the topic that we had last week, with the leadership topic that we have last week, this topic that we're having today just merged together with it. Because if you're growing in life, it is also important to understand how people communicate, how you can have effective communication that can help you, in any field that you have, like that you're doing in your career, whatsoever it is. So I'm excited. We're gonna get into it tonight. Okay. So, but first of all, I want you guys to understand something, that when we talk about effective communication, if you need to write this down, write it down. If you need to just cram it in your head, that's fantastic as well. Excuse me. I am very happy about that. But most important, to have an effective communication, it actually involves you, developing both your ability to express your own self clearly and your capacity to listen and understand others. So this is very, very important when we're talking about communication, because a lot of people that I've seen, they don't know how to communicate, and then they fail, in the field, maybe a salesperson or maybe with the colleagues or whatever, just because of lack of communication. They lose opportunity just because of lack of communication. They don't get the chance that they're supposed to get just because of lack of communication. Things doesn't work the way they expect them. But I'll tell you, communication is the key to great leadership. If you don't have a good communication, there's no how you can become a great leader. Or even just even individually, there's no how people can understand you. If you're all over the place, what do you expect people to think about you? They'll just be like, oh, you're there, you're there, you're there, you're there. And you don't want that. You want to be a better person. You want to grow. You want results in whatever that you're doing, whatever that you plan, that you've set up for yourself. You want great result. So that's why tonight I'm going to be breaking down some point for us tonight. So which I would like you to please just pay attention. Pay attention to what I have to say tonight, because these are very, very important points that I have chosen tonight to talk about, to list, to help you get to the place where you need to be. And then the first thing that I want to talk about as one of the important points for having or for building effective communication is enhancing your own self-awareness. What do I mean by that? I want you to understand something, that self-awareness also, it's a foundation of effective communication, because it allows you to understand how you communicate and the kind of style, emotions, behavior, that affect your interaction with others. See, we don't put all these things into consideration when it comes to communication. We just talk. We just talk, 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 talk. That's it. And then we're like, oh, yeah, I've got good, effective communication and all that. No, there's some certain things that you need to practice. There's some certain things that you need to become aware of, when you are dealing, or when you are dealing with others, when you are communicating, when you are in a place where, like, you want them to understand you. Know your communication strategy. You need to know. You need to know. Are you more of an aggressive person? Are you more of a passive person? You need to ask yourself all these questions, because self-awareness communication, it helps you to recognize, the things that you need to work on, and also help you to adjust accordingly to fit into the situations of others or whatsoever that you're communicating with. So it is very, very important that you understand where you are coming from. You need to understand your own self, so that way you can know how to move from A to B. When you're talking with group of people, or when you're talking individually with someone, you need to learn how you balance all these little emotions, all these little things that we just take for granted. So you need to be able to balance those things, your behavior, all those things. So it is very, very important that you practice that. And then you need to also recognize, like, your emotional triggers. What do I mean by that? Be mindful of how your emotion work, especially, like, negative ones, like, frustrations or anger. How do you respond during those time? How do you talk during those time? Can it can actually, can impact how you communicate with others. So I will encourage you that you learn to manage these emotions, so that way you don't, you're not all over the place, and people can actually understand exactly the kind of message you're trying to pass across to them, or what exactly you're trying to tell them. So I'm encouraging you this evening to also, like, another thing that I want you to keep in mind is that always ask for feedback. And I'm going to be talking more about feedback tonight, because feedback is very, very important. We don't do that, but we need to do that. One way to enhance your own self-awareness is by asking others for honest feedback, and on how you communicate with them, or how you communicate with others. This will help you to identify your own blind spots, even maybe areas that need improvement in your life. This is really, really going to help you. So I want you tonight to just practice all these little things, because they will help you identify your own strategy, identify your own area of strength, your own area of weaknesses, so that way you can be able to manage your communication. The second thing that I want to talk about this evening is practice active listening. See, practicing active listening, it means a lot. Like, it's like fully focusing, or maybe understanding, or even also, responding to what the other person is saying. How do you respond to them? What do you say when they say something? Are you the person that, they will say A, and then you are going to be talking about B? That's not good. That doesn't give you a good image as an individual. That doesn't put you in a good perspective of others. You need to be able to know, and you need to be able to know how to respond, how to, if you don't understand, ask questions. Ask them. I don't understand exactly what you just said right now. Can you repeat yourself? See, some people feel so shy, or some feel so superior to, to ask, like, oh, I don't understand. There's no big deal in it. You need to ask if you don't understand. Don't be too full of yourself, and at the end of the day, you don't even understand what the person is saying. So I'm encouraging you this evening that in order for you to practice effective communication, it is one of the most crucial skills in communication that you need to ensure that you genuinely understand who is speaking to you, and most importantly, their perspective to whatever thing that they're saying to you. Sure, you are listening. Use non-verbal, it can be just nodding your head, maintaining properly eye contact. See, people who come from Nigeria, they don't even understand proper eye contact. I'll tell you that. When they're talking, they're just like, okay, yeah, I'm right here, I'm listening to you. No, that's not a good effective communication. In order for you to have a good effective communication, you need to know how to respond. You need to know how to, let the other person understand what you're saying. I used to have one very crazy habit like that. And when someone is talking, and I just listen and listen, and I'm just quiet, and then they're like, oh, are you still there? And until I realize, then, I need to do better. So that's why I'm encouraging you this evening, that you need to maintain high contact, or use small verbal, affirmation. Oh, I see. Okay, go on. All those little things will help you to demonstrate. And then, it would demonstrate that, you are engaged in what the person is saying. So, see, this is very, very important, because sometimes we even do this, maybe casually, to our friends or to our family. And that habit takes us into, professional field. And I'm encouraging you this evening to find a better way to communicate, and avoid interrupting when someone is talking. Please do not interrupt. If you have been doing that, you need to know how to listen. You need to learn how to listen. Let the other person complete their thoughts before responding. Sometimes they might have things to say. See, sometimes I've seen situation whereby, somebody pick a call to call somebody, call your phone, and they want to talk to you. Instead of you to listen to what the person have to say, you are the one talking first. Oh, you know what, I've been trying to call you, blah 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 blah, and you start the conversation. Or maybe probably, oh, I'm trying to do this, blah 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 blah, blah, and you just jump off the conversation. The person that called you, you don't know the reason why they called. You didn't ask them, why did you call me? You just start the conversation. These are very bad habits that get one nowhere when you are building effective communication. So I'm saying all this tonight because I want you to be better in communicating. I want you to be better in whatever you're doing. So that way, people can actually have a better understanding of your communication. So let the other person complete their thought, like I said before responding. Show respect, because when you do that, you show respect. They respect you, and it also helps to avoid misunderstanding between the both of you, because you don't know, or it can even be colleagues. It might be group of people that you're communicating with. These little things matters a lot when you are practicing effective communication. Summarize and reflect. Paraphrasing on what the person have said to you can also bring a clarity in the message that the person have passed across to you. Now, this can be in a group setting, like I said. This can even be you attending a big conference, and then you can practice that with what I'm saying tonight. You can practice that with me. Try to understand exactly what is the person saying, so you can have a better understanding. For example, what you're saying, to the person when you are interrupting them, it makes no sense. because at the end of the day, there's no how that they will understand what you're saying. So help to ensure mutual understanding when you are communicating with them. It is very, very important that you take this home. This might seem small, but I'm giving you like good and things, ideas that will help you, when it comes to effective communication. Communication is two-way process. Listening is just as important as speaking. So, and active listening improves connection and it actually reduces miscommunication. So please, 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 I need you to practice that, okay? Because you're going far. And then anyone who is going far, you just have to. You have to. And then the third thing that I want to share, I have 7 points for you tonight. Okay, so still sit down and relax. We're getting into. And also, please, we're gonna be having question and answer section. If you have any question in your mind that you want to talk, that you would like to express or that you would like to share, please drop your comment. And for some of you who don't feel comfortable, because we've seen a lot of people that they don't feel comfortable dropping comment, dropping their questions, you can always email us at the speaker show at gmail. We will always get your question and then we will respond accordingly to your questions. Okay, all right, so I just wanted to bring that in. So the third thing that I want to share with you, be clear and concise. Effective communication express themselves clearly. People will practice it. They express themselves clearly and they get to the point without overwhelming the person listening unnecessarily. Unnecessary details is not needed. Go to the point. What you want to say, go to the point. Don't beat around the bush. Don't do okay. Don't do that. Be straight. Excuse me. Be straight with your point. Clarity ensures that the message is understood exactly as it is intended to. So please, please, please avoid confusion when you are communicating. It is very, very important. And use simple language. You don't need to use all these, big drama and grammars, in your vocabularies. It's not necessary. Be simple. Communicate. Let the person understand. See, some people will go and look for dictionary. They will look for English, and then the English that you're saying, the other person doesn't even understand. And at the end of the day, they're just nodding their head that okay, okay, okay. And then at the end of the day, they didn't get the point you're passing across. So be simple, use simple language, communicate according to the person that you're dealing with, according to the individual, because there are different techniques for different people, different situation, different time. That is different. So you can mix it. The communication that you're gonna have with a friend is different from with a friend, an individual is different from the kind of communication that you're gonna have with your colleague, with your worker, or maybe with your client or with your boss at work. It's different. So you need to know all these little ideas on how you can have effective communication. Structure your message. Structure your message properly before speaking or even writing, organize your thoughts. Organize what you have to say so that way your message flows logically. And I'm saying this especially, to the people who work in a big field, to the people who work professionally, in a big setting. This is for you. You need to learn this. It is very, very important. Start with the main point and provide supporting details. Don't go all over, like I said before. Avoid informational overload. What does that mean? Please focus on one key idea. Don't be, oh, you have this idea. Oh, I have this, I have that. See, that's the reason why you will see a lot of people that, when they're talking with you, they'll be like, oh, I have this idea. I have this idea. I have this idea. Focus on one thing. Let the person understand. Even some people, they need advice, but they will go all over the place. The person that wants to advise won't even know where to start, won't even know how to help. So you need to practice the little things that they are very, very important, that will help you so much, when so excuse me, when you are communicating. Okay, so, and another thing that I want you to do is this, another thing that I want you to learn is cultivate empathy when you're talking. See, When you're communicating, there are techniques that will help you to get results. If you're a salesperson, there are techniques that will help you to get results. If you don't know them, you will just be wondering why you don't make sales. You don't, like, things are not happening for you. Or maybe probably, oh, they all the time they don't even understand what I'm saying. They don't get my point, or they don't use my idea. Maybe those ideas that you're presenting is because you're not communicating effectively. That's why they're not taking the idea. That's why they're not taking the point. So you might be the reason. So excuse me. So that's why you need to take advantage of this teaching tonight, and look through yourself. Look at your strengths, look at your areas of weaknesses, so that way you can be able to better yourself. Empathy, cultivating empathy is very important. The ability to understand and actually share your feeling, you know with one another, is important. And it plays a crucial, it plays a very important role in communication. So put yourself in others shoes. Don't just talk like, oh, you just want to talk. Put yourself in others. Like, put yourself in the shoe. When you're communicating, try to see things from other perspective, not just your own perspective alone. What are their needs, their concerns, or their feelings in this situation that they're going through? When they come to you for help, when they come to you for ideas, you need to understand them for who they are. You need to understand them from their own point of view, so that way you can be able to know the kind of response that you need to give. Acknowledge their emotions. If someone is upset, for instance, acknowledge their feelings before even diving into the problem itself, or even bringing solution. Ask them, talk to them. I can see you're frustrated. Validate their feelings, their emotion, and that will help you to build trust when you're communicating with them. Because when they see that, okay, you're asking them, oh, I understand you're this. Okay, they feel more comfortable. They feel more relaxed, and that way they trust you. That way you're building trust. So little things matters a lot. Empathic communication, avoid jumping to conclusion. So you're not jumping, you give honest reply to people. They take time to reflect on others, on others point, on others message, before you respond. Take time. See, that's why people are always worried. They'll be like, oh, I talked to this person, and then this person doesn't listen to me. And then, I talk to this person is always judging me. This person is always, if you're that person that people are always saying you judge them, this is for you. This is the time that you need to start rechecking yourself. You need to recheck yourself. See what you're doing wrongly. See, it's not even about others. This is about you as an individual. And then, it is very, very important for you to also provide and encourage feedback for yourself. I don't care the level that you are. I don't care how good your message is. You need to have people that they check on you. You need to have people that you go back to and tell them, oh, how do you see this? What do you think about this that I've done? You need to, because you need to frequently check yourself. You need to check in. And the only way that you can check in is by, engaging in positive feedback. Who are the people? Because who are the people that you can go to? You figure it out. Figure it out. You know, it it helps you. See, when you create an environment, and you engage yourself into, like, the feedback mode, it actually helps you to create an open communication, an open environment where continuous improvement and better understanding can flourish for yourself. Even for others, ask them, what do you think about what I've done? Or even others can come to you and ask the same thing. Give constructive feedback when they come to you. Don't just focus on specific behavior or action, rather than just personal trait. Like, oh, this is this is that. No, be objective. Very important. you know Offering suggestions for others or to others can actually improve, they can create improvement better, steady communication instead of, criticism. So I'm encouraging you this evening, please, 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 you can do better. And this is your opportunity to do better. You're on the show tonight because I know there's a reason why you're here tonight. So you need to look, everything might not be for you. That's okay. But I'm sure there will be some point that, you can work on to be a better person in communicating. And the sixth thing that I want to share with you is adapt your own communication style. See, this is very, very important. You can't copy others. You can't copy. I've seen people, in my own personal field of work, I've seen people that they'll be like, I want to talk exactly like the way this person is talking. You can only try. You can be. Create your own style. Figure out your own style. No single communication style works in, works in every situation. That's one thing you need to keep at the back of your mind. So adapting to your audience, or to the group of people, or to an individual that you are talking to, ensure that your message is resonating with them. Do you understand? Understand that. So know your audience, tailor your message based on what you are speaking to, or maybe what you're speaking on. Tailor your message to the proper place. For instance, how you communicate with your colleagues may be different, and I mentioned that before. Maybe different from the way you speak to a client, or maybe even different from the way you speak to your friends. Maybe different from the way you speak to your families. So you need to understand that there are different effective ways of communication that you need to practice, that you need to know. What are your styles? Adjust your tone and formalities. You need all this. Professional tone is different, and it is essential. It is essential in some area. So, and in a more relaxed way and a more conversational tone it's also different in another area. When you're talking with friends, when you're talking with an individual. So you need to understand all these little things. You need to practice them. And when you are able to do this, honestly, you are going to have an effective communication. So, and that's why tonight I am here to encourage you to please, 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 please practice an effective communication. Because if you don't, it's just gonna be all over the place, all over, and you don't want your message to be all over the place. So please, I am encouraging you tonight to just please practice, 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 practice effective communication. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining me on the speaker show tonight. And like I said before, if the message has been impactful to you, please do not mind. Please just share with your friends and family. Share with them. Let them know that you were here tonight, and let them be inspired. So please share, 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 share. Let's share. Let's get the message out so everyone can be inspired one way or the other. And I just want to say a very big thank you to you. You guys have been wonderful. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for joining me tonight. And I just want to say I want you to have a very wonderful night on the speaker show. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you again next week. Thank you. The speaker show. I'm your host, Niniola Fatai. Until next time. Thank you.